Test.
Well, these. Check. There we go. Well, these batteries, the batteries are dead in that one there, so we'll try to get that fixed, and we'll be ready to go with all the reasons. We have a couple mics. We are so excited to have you here tonight. Okay, my name's Brian Weiss, director of Lindbergh Middle School Bands. This is our jazz ensemble, and we're wanting these young folks up here to hear the potential of what's in the future for them, starting as early as this summer. So I won't talk any more about it. We'll just play, and then we'll talk more about it after their first song. This is the Daily Blues. just awesome. This is our jazz ensemble. This is an audition group. Saxes, trombones, trumpets, and then the rhythm section people you see here, piano, drums, bass, and vibes, and guitar. That's the instrumentation. That's also the instrumentation that we use in the summer. So about this band, they audition at the beginning of school, like probably 3 or 4 weeks into school starting. They audition for this band, and if they are chosen for this band, they then start rehearsing 3 mornings a week. And I would say the word rehearsing used very, very lightly, because what I call 3 days a week of rehearsal has turned into 5 days a week of them wanting to come in and work, which is awesome. So, a lot of the kids will tell you they get up quicker and easier on the mornings to rehearse with this band than a normal school morning, and it's great. It gets them energized and charged, and me energized and charged. This is a Truman and Sparing band right here, okay? So it's auditioned between both schools. For the Truman folks, we meet at Sparing to rehearse, but the Truman people that make the band will hop on a shuttle bus that brings them over to Truman to start the day. So if your child at Truman were to make the band, your job would be to drop them off at 6:30 a.m. at Sparing, and then you get them on for the rest of their education for the day. So yes, 6:30 in the morning, that's the time we rehearse. So it's a blast. And these kids, I'll ask a couple of questions here. I know it's going to sound like a sales pitch, but I want to show you 3 things here. First of all, how many of you are 7th graders in this band? Yeah. So 1 year ago, they would have been sitting right in these seats, right here, just like you guys. So I hope you guys understand. It's all up to you. Preparation, hard work, gets you into this, okay? Next thing. How many of you are doubling instruments? Like what you're playing in this band may not be your primary instrument. Raise your hand. And the last one, this is the really cheesy thing. I feel like I should have like some clown suit dancing on some old cheesy 80 commercial. Raise your hand if you participated in our summer band program for jazz last year. Mason, right here, Mason, he didn't raise his hand, so he doesn't know it. He just got kicked out of the band. So, good thing there's only a week left. So anyways, that's kind of the makeup of this band. That's kind of how it works. And then later on tonight, if you were to stick around, you'd hear our big jazz band, which the rhythm section is still auditioned simply because we can't have 10 drum set players. So the rhythm section is still auditioned, but saxes, trumpets, and trombones, we take anybody that wants to play. So if your kids come home tonight saying, hey, I'm a flute player, or I'm a clarinet player, or any woodwind player, and I would like to do the jazz thing, realize all it takes on your end is to rent a saxophone for a month or 2 and let them experience our summer program and see how they like it. And if they really, really, really like it, then you guys can have a conversation about continuing on renting an instrument, or you can just turn the instrument back in. So we have a lot of kids after this concert that will go home saying, hey, I think I want to try to do so. The reason I don't talk about the trombones and trumpets a lot is because all of them started on either trombone or trumpet. Now we do have French horn players and baritone and tubas, but they all started on trumpet and trombone. So our woodwind players are the ones that do the most switching and doubling, which is a great thing later on in life when it comes to college. Stuff we'll talk about later. Okay? So the first piece we played was the Daily Blues. It featured John Reissteck, James Dollenmeyer, Charlie Phillips, Mara Queen, Nate Fruditom, Briley McKinney, Jacob Cox. And we're going to play one more song for you here. This is called Chili Today, Hot Tamale. And it's going to feature Susan Akers on trombone and Briley McKinney again on tenor sax. As soon as this is over, we'll get this stage set real quick, and our main event will be coming down. How you doing up there, 6th grade? felt like that was necessary because you've been absolutely too great of an audience. I felt like you needed to purge right there. So I'll ask you one more time just so you can get it all out. How are you guys doing tonight? That sounds more like class. Okay, here we go. Chili today, hot tomorrow. Everybody have a seat real quick. I want to point one person out here. Susan Akers played a solo on trombone. She was fabulous. But what was interesting is, and you probably didn't notice, there was this big break of silence that happened right before she was supposed to play. And that's never happened before. So it's really hard when you're getting ready to play a solo to be used to hearing something and then it doesn't show up. But then she did it and she sounded amazing. Great job. We will get the stage reset and upcoming 6th grade band. You guys will be awesome.
chance to take a picture of your students before we get this thing started. So they're going to sit up looking fabulous. And you guys have the opportunity now to get your cameras out and take the best photo of them all night.
Yes, that's my girl! Do you see her? Look at that! Oh my god, what happened? Why are there none of them? You're here? Where'd you go?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Matt Seeker, president of our bandstand, parent organization for our band program, up stage to talk to you for just a second. And don't worry, I have a microphone for you. All right? So welcome Mr. Seeker here.
Thanks, Brian. As you all know, this program, the middle school band especially, is just fantastic. Right? How about that jazz ensemble starts it off? Even with the tremendous support this band program gets all throughout the district from all the administration, is great. We know there's always something that's needed. Right? There's always an extra little thing we need to make this program even better. So years ago, what happened? We came at this time, we would do fundraisers in the middle school to benefit the middle school band program. We did the traditional stuff, I'm sure you've all seen, the fun stuff, selling Krispy Kreme cards or entertainment books. And when we talk to the parents, they're like, please don't make us sell anything. Don't make us sell anything. So we listen to that, so what we do now, we come here to the concerts and say, right out front in the auditorium, you'll see a drum on a table, you'll see myself standing back there, and you can give us a donation. It all stays here for the middle school program. Everything collected tonight, as well as when sparing play, goes directly to the middle school program, not the high school program. So it just helps support the directors and the extra stuff they need to keep these programs going so good. So we'll be out there for that. We have some stuff. If you have a check, you can make it out to bandstanders. We'll still all go back to the middle school. And we also have these wonderful magnets out there for the bands. Well, we purchase those for $5 as well. So we'll be out there. Turn it back over to Brian. Hope you enjoy the night. Thank you.
All right, we are so fortunate here at Lindbergh to have such a phenomenal directing staff.
to work with these kids every day. Please welcome to the podium our first director for our first song, Star Splitter Fanfare, and this is Mr. Adam Spurk. Hopefully you notice the sound a little different than last time in December. We've got several new instruments here. So as I call your instrument, these folks, so what happened is, as you know, everybody started on flute, trumpet, clarinet, or trombone. Percussionists obviously were auditioned before their 6th grade year started. And the flute, trumpet, clarinet, and trombone classes, we have created other sections out of those. So let's start with the brass family. Let's start with the French horns. Raise your horns up in the air. They've been playing these for a couple of months. Okay? All right, baritones. Hold your baritones up in the air. Euphoniums. I'll go ahead and call them the official name, even though I never call them this. I always call them A-butts, but that's because their name's tuba. So, tubas, lift those bad boys up in the air. See Kaylee, thank you for sending me the super nice note today. It was wonderful. Yes. Yes. Okay. Now we go to the woodwind class. Right here. 2nd row. Very, very, very difficult instrument to really take over and work on and get really good at, and you're already off to a great start. Stand up. This is the oboe. And then we have the equal thing to oboe, which is the larger size bass version of it, I guess you'd call it, and that is the bassoon. Hold the bassoon out. And saxophones, let's start with, before that, bass clarinets. These are like what Miss Silverman likes to call clarinets on steroids. So, there's the bass clarinet. And then saxophones, all of you stand up so we can kind of show you, like, put your instruments up in the air so we can see the differences in them. So, on that side was the tenor sax, which is like the medium size, and over here was the alto sax, which is the smaller size. Yes, there's a soprano, and yes, there's a contra, there's all those other things. But this is, did I miss anybody? Did I miss any switchovers? No? Okay, so great job, guys. They've learned how to play these instruments here in a couple months and are able to pull this concert off. So, next year, before I see you, I want to mention this real quick. Every one of these students on stage will have a chance to try out for what's called All Suburban Band, which is the all-star band for St. Louis. Any student in St. Louis that's 7th or 8th grade is able to audition for it. They are blind auditions, which means the kids have
they're basically a number. And the judge knows whether they don't know whether they're Sparing or Truman or Oakville or wherever, and they don't know what grade they're in, they don't know anything about them. And they rate them, and at the end of the night, they accumulate all the scores, and they put out the all-suburban list the following day. And for the people that make it, they have about 7 rehearsals and then a performance. So it's not just an all-star list. They actually play the game too, which is the concert. So that's something that's coming up between now and the next time I'll see you. So when the school year starts, we'll be sending information out about that. Okay? Next song we're going to play is The Tempest, and this is going to be conducted by our trumpet instructor, Mr. Alec Patton. All right. So, in regards to summer band, hopefully, I think there's a QR code on your program. If not, I will send more stuff out. And please don't be annoyed by my emails. It's just, I know how it is being a parent, where you kind of say, on the priority list right now today, this falls like right there. And then you doubt yourself a million times where you're like, what did I forget from that priority list that was somewhere here? So if I send you out emails with the reminder link for it, it doesn't mean you didn't sign up. It just means we're reminding you if you want to sign up to do it. The truth is you can walk in on day one if that's what you'd like to do. The problem is we like to plan ahead of time to assign parts so that when the kids walk in, we don't waste a second. We give them their music and we get going. That's kind of the goal. Summer band is meant to be about playing. Just playing. 16 total days of summer band, which means 15 days of instruction, and day 16 is the concert. And we'll play 3 songs with these folks. And hey guys, I don't know if we've told you yet or not, but I have it in writing here so I would think it's, well, we're band directors, so 99.25, okay? Percent accurate. We're gonna play Lord of the Rings, Pirates of the Caribbean, then another song called American Collage that you guys are gonna absolutely love. And the music that we picked, I will tell you, is geared towards next year's 8th graders. They will be playing in the same band as the band that is a year older than them. So it really pushes these folks, it involves them with the older kids, so they might be sitting next to one of the best players in St. Louis right there. We typically have several of them that make the all-suburban band. So something awesome for them to do. If you have to miss a week or a day or 2 or whatever, we just want you to come when you can come. So whatever is fine with us. People say, well, can I miss this, miss that? It's whatever you're comfortable with, okay? So we'd love to have you come to do that. Band span, 11 to 12:30. That's what all these kids right here can play in on these instruments, just like this band. Jazz is the different thing. They don't have to sign up for jazz at all. So jazz is 9:30 to 11. This concert band is 11 to 12:30. And that's it. So whatever instrument they're holding in their hand right now is what they can play in that. Okay? All right, before we play our last song, just like to thank Dr. Stratman. I think you're up in the booth. There he is. Dr. Stratman, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I know Dr. Boger is here as a parent too, but I got to tell you something. Can you just give them a round of applause for COVID, navigating COVID, navigating the pandemic? Yes, I agree. To be the principal and to try to navigate these waters, I guarantee you, when they were back in their degrees, just like when I was in my degree, half the things that I deal with on a daily basis weren't taught in any degree. So we're so thankful to have you guys as principals and to support our music program the way you do, along with the assistant principals too. So besides that, I just want to make sure, directors, could you guys come out here? We have different directors that are here. Some are conducting, some are not. If you guys could come out if you're here, some people are already back working with the 7th grade band. If you're here, could you come on out? Come on out, come on out, come on out. All right. So just so you know, real quick to make sure, Mr. Arana is our percussion instructor, Dan Arana. Jeremy McMahon is our flute/woodwind instructor. Chelsea Silvermans is our beginning clarinet/woodwind instructor. Miss Noble, Kayla Noble, is one of our new hires this year. She is in the brass team with me. She helps teach brass with me. Yes. And this is Margie Kern, and Margie is our student teacher, and she is interviewing and going through all the processes that make every student teacher just so nervous because they want to move on with the rest of their professional career. So she's right in the middle of that. So we wish her the best. She's from Southeast Missouri State University. Okay, it looks like the last piece that we're going to play here for these kids. I know the name of the song. I'm looking at you freaking out over how great you are. So, like, look at them. This is what they are, and I wish you could pop into our band room. This is no different. Like, you know, we say discipline is the key to a better life. And it's just awesome. These kids are amazing, so I can't say how, it's just awesome. All right, for our last piece, we're playing Bazaar, and this is Chelsea Silverman's out to conduct. It's just funny to remember that, thinking back to summer band or the beginning of the year, whatever, they didn't know which end to put in their mouth or how to put the horns together. So I can't say enough about their work ethic, their positive attitude, and I'm so, so proud of y'all. You guys are awesome. Can't wait to see you this summer next year.
I need my extra job.
If you want to know everything not to do as a head band director at a concert, just watch me. It's perfect. I walk out, I'm like, all right guys, position one, girl. Okay, now I will get my microphone so I can actually talk to people. So, we are so glad you guys are here tonight. These kids are amazing, and you're going to hear it. We hope you enjoy this concert. Our first piece that we're going to be playing is going to be conducted by a student teacher of ours, Margie Curran, and she is from Southeast Missouri State University, and she is looking for a job like the student teachers we've had come through the past. And if you don't know, we have a college intern program in the summer, and we try our best to bring college folks in the last couple of years of their college degree so we can help them as much as we can. Okay, so we've had over 30 different student teachers come in. She is fabulous. The kids love working with her, and we're excited to have her here. So, without further ado, we'll start our concert with Ms. Curran conducting Overture on a Shaker Tune. Mason Kruger there. Nice job, Mason. So concert etiquette is typically in a symphonic concert band setting. Soloists get recognized at the end of the piece. In jazz settings, they normally get recognized like after their solo during the jazz thing. So just saying right there. So that's why we make a special interest in him. Hey, I want to invite real quickly while we're switching over, I want to invite our president of our bandstanders, a parent organization for the entire Lindbergh Band program, Matt Seeker, up just to say a couple of words here to you, if you would mind. This is Matt Seeker.
Thank you, Brian. So as you all know how wonderful these band programs are in the whole district, especially in the middle school, right? And like all programs, even with the great support with the administration that we have, there's always some extra stuff that the directors need to keep the program going at the high level that we're used to. So many years ago, we used to do fundraisers for the middle school band, where the fun things like selling the Krispy Kreme cards to everybody, selling all the coupon books that everybody And when we talk to the parents afterwards, you're like, please don't make us sell anything. We don't want to sell anything. So we changed to come to the concerts like this. And so out front, you'll see our table out there with the drum. And we're just collecting whatever anybody would like to contribute. All the money raised, both at the Spring concert and tonight for Truman, stays with the middle school band program exclusively. So there's also some cool Lindbergh magnets there to draw a well-known band program. Now you can show your pride for $5 and put that on your vehicle. So, but we just try our best to help support all the band programs. And like I said, all the money we'll raise tonight will help just the middle school band program. So thank you so much and enjoy the concert.
Okay, before we play our next piece, two things I want to mention to you. Number one, before I see you again, actually, start over. Number one, we had an event that happened this semester called Solo and Small Ensemble. I sent information home, and it was one of those things that students could elect to do or not. It was not a requirement. Solo and Small Ensemble Festival is schools from all over the St. Louis area have students that wish to participate as a soloist or a duet or a trio, quartet, quintet, whatever it might be, and they perform in front of a judge and they get an overall rating along with a comment sheet. And so it's something that's totally optional, and we had kids in our band here that chose to do that, and I want to start by recognizing those folks. So if you participated in Solo and Small Ensemble Festival, would you guys please stand, or percussion, raise your hand back there, okay? Just stay standing for a second here. Like, just go stop someone in the hall and go, hey, how about you go do something that you don't have to do in front of a stranger who doesn't know you, and then get graded on it. You were out and evaluated on it. It's not something most kids sign up to do, but these kids did, so we're super proud of you. Please remain standing if you received a 1, which is a superior rating, the highest rating you can get. All right, thank you guys. The next thing, the second thing I want to tell you, before I see you again in October, there'll be a chance for all these students, if they would like to try out for what's called All Suburban Band. All Suburban, you could call it the St. Louis All-Star Band if you wanted to. Any 7th or 8th grade student around St. Louis that would like to, they will get prepared material that they get to work on, some scales they have to do, and then there's some sight reading involved in the actual audition. And the night of the audition, they show up and they become a piece of paper about this big that is a number. And they become a number. The judges, they're blind auditions, so the judges are turned away from them. There's a room monitor, and when they go in, if they have any questions, they have to ask the room monitor outside. Otherwise, they go in, the room monitor tells them what to do. They play their audition, and then they leave. And the next day, they post the results. The results are not just, yay, you made it. It's, if you made it, it shows you what chair you made. So if your first chair clarinet, it means you have the top audition in the entire St. Louis area. So we have many kids that try out for that, and I would highly recommend these folks get used to that, because auditions themselves are a learning process. You don't just walk into auditions and automatically be great at them. They take practice, just the routine of doing an audition. So both of the things we just talked about, solo and small ensemble and all suburban band, have a state level at high school. So when you hear about our high school band members, all staters, whatever it might be, that's available in the high school, but you have to make it through round one, which right now, middle school that's all they have. We don't have an all-state middle school band. So at the high school level, you have to make the St. Louis version of this to be eligible to go on to the state version of it. So we would love for them to try that out. Okay? All right, the next piece we're going to play is Beyond the Seven Hills, and please welcome Ms. Kayla Noble out to conduct. I think the longer I talk, the more hyped up they get. That was awesome. We're sitting backstage going, like, oh my God, guys, that was awesome. Great job. Wow, okay. Before we play our last piece, next year, things that are new. As soon as school starts, once we find out that, I think the homecoming date's already out there in terms of the football game. I don't know what it is right now, but 3 weeks prior to the homecoming football game, we will turn into a marching band. And we will work on the fight song for the high school, work on the national anthem, we'll work on a lot of the pep music and stuff, and we will eventually end up spending the evening at the high school homecoming game with the high school band. We will be out on the field with them. Obviously, they'll do their show. I think the way we've done it here recently is the high school band will do their show during pregame, their normal like feature show during pregame, and then at halftime, we'll all get together and we'll go out there and we'll perform during halftime and just play a bunch of really cool rocking out songs. So that's something new for them next year. And of course, the other one, the big one that we just finished with is our 8th grade band trip. We do it every year, and we just went on a new one this year. We used to go to Worlds of Fun. We went to Silver Dollar City just last weekend, and we had an absolute blast. We left Friday after day lunch, the 8th grade lunch. We performed Friday evening, and then Saturday we spent the day in the park, and then left around 5 o'clock, I think it was, and we came back home. We got home around 10 o'clock at night. So we've been doing these trips since I've been here over 20 years, and they're just awesome. Just memories like crazy. So as next year unfolds, we'll give you more advice about that, or advice, information, and kind of how to navigate all that stuff. And then of course, talking about high school too, because that'll be here before you know it. And we'll be on stage this time next year saying goodbye and talking to you about high school band. So we appreciate the work that these folks have done. Like I said, I try not to use the word COVID, but my Lord, to hear what they're doing right now, it just blows my mind. I can't believe they're doing what they're doing. So far beyond our expectations. Dr. Stratman, thank you for being here tonight. Always in our corner, always ready to help. In 6th grade, I forgot to put tape up for the 6th grade band to come out, and he came over and he switched his role from principal to bouncer. So to keep people out of chairs, you know. So anyways, just awesome administration we work with every day, so thank you. And could all the directors step out here, please, real quick, because we have different directors that conduct, and I want to make sure that you see all of them that work with the band. Come on out, guys. This is Mr. Patton. Mr. Patton works with our brass. Okay? Mr. Arana works with our percussion here. Mr. Mann works with the woodwind classes. Ms. Noble works with the brass classes. Mr. Spurt works with the woodwind classes. And somewhere back there, we got a mom. Somewhere back there, my brother's back there, and he's the high school band director, and he just got back from the Cardinal game, I guess. So, anyways, so we have a phenomenal teaching team that works with these kids, and what you hear up here is just a representation of all the hard work that goes on both sides of the podium, from us to them and from them to us. So, our last piece that we will perform tonight will be El Camino, and Mr. Arana will conduct it.
band in between our 7th and 8th grade concert, so you're welcome to stay and see that. And our 8th grade band is up next. So thank you again, parents, for transportation, for renting instruments, for getting them where they need to be. We appreciate you guys so much. Have a great night.
All right, guys. Parents, I'm assuming that a lot of you, most of you, are the parents that bring these kids to school early in the morning, 6:30 a.m., and I just hope that the environment that we try to build and provide is worth their time. I hope that they come looking forward to it, and I appreciate you guys bringing them. And I know it affects your morning schedule too, and it's one day in there that kind of abrupts things. So I'm so happy with these folks. Like, they've only had, well, you know how many times you've been driving, they've only had, I don't know, 8 or 9, maybe 10 rehearsals of doing this, put these songs together. And I have to tell you something, the songs that they're playing tonight are not, they're songs that could be played with a lot of your top jazz bands, like middle school jazz bands. They're not easy, they're challenging, and requires them to go home and practice and make sure they're responsible for their parts. So, having said that, we're going to start off with our first song, and this is The Last Lap. I'll tell you about the soloist here afterwards, but yesterday morning, I'm sorry, we decided to kick this up a notch. Psst. Remember that? We're going to go faster. Remember? So, this could be a complete train wreck. If it is, obviously it's a surprise to them too. So, anyways, we're going to try to bump this thing up and have some fun with it. All right, here we go. The Last Lap. We had solos from Spencer on trombone, John over here on vibes, Charlie bass trombone, Mara on bass, Nate on trumpet, and then we went back to Spencer again, and I'll tell you why. And then we finished with Bridie, all right? So there's the whole order of soloists. I went back to Spencer because we had a girl who was supposed to lead off the solo part of the song, and she was absent today. So I told Spencer before we came out here, hey, you're going first. He's like, okay. So I heard him play, and I just asked him, I said, hey, do you want to go again? He's like, I said, okay. So we made an adjust. That's why you saw half the people in the band going, like some people's horns were up, some were down. We fixed it. It all worked great. How about a hand for all of us? So we would love to have, of course, our 7th graders right now going into 8th grade. We'd love to have them in our summer jazz camp. We change up the first 3 days. The folks that were there last year, they did this kind of a jazz, like this training ground for 3 days, and we changed that when they go into 8th grade, where they're off in a separate class with Mr. Patton, and then the incoming 6th graders or 7th graders are the ones that will work with me on kind of the jazz beginning experience. So we hope that all these folks that are in this band, plus anyone else, would come and participate with us in the jazz band. So this morning, or yesterday morning, was our last rehearsal. So we're getting up early, and I've enjoyed working with them because, raise your hand if you're playing a secondary instrument or if this is your first time in jazz this semester. Yes, this is pretty awesome right here. You know, some people say, you know, I want to try this out, and they come and do it, and they don't have to, they just do. And parents, you guys go around with a second instrument. I mean, it's just amazing what this whole community is. So we appreciate all you guys, and some of you might sit here and go, I didn't play the best on this concert, or everything wasn't quite perfect for what I did. You know what? I've never been perfect on stage in my life, ever. Never. Okay? Always made mistakes on stage, so don't worry. All right? You guys sound awesome. All right? Okay. Our last piece. This is the first year of my career, over 20 years, that I've had someone who has said, hey, I want to work with this band too. And it's our new staff member, Kayla Noble, and she has been at every rehearsal and running a ton of what's going on in this band. And she's going to come out here and conduct our last piece, and I am so thankful for her, and she is phenomenal at what she does. I think everybody who's been working with her would agree with that. So please welcome Miss Noble, and our last song is Area 51.
Last Wednesday at the Sparing concert, I didn't hand her the microphone right then, so she made sure I got the microphone. Yeah, she's got it. I'm sorry for how long you might stay here now. I've never heard her speak on the microphone. You might be here a while.
It's been really nice meeting you guys. Thank you so much.
Good. Okay. Okay, it turns out I don't know how to turn on the microphone. So, anyways, it's a learning process, you're right. So, how about these guys? Huh? Yeah. All right. Our high school program, for those of you 8th grade parents, our high school program has 3 jazz bands up there right now. They have a combo up there. There's so many experiences for these kids if they keep going through jazz. And we're just so lucky to have them as part of our week. So thank you guys. I know some of you guys, these people were here last Wednesday to play. So Truman people played for Sparing concert, and Sparing people are playing for Truman concert. So that takes time out of your schedule. I appreciate it. And all of you, if you're staying for 8th grade, hope you enjoy it. The rest of you have a great night. And these folks will be packing up and ready to meet you outside. All right? It might be best to leave. If you're leaving, it might be best to go that way, as some of you might have realized on the way in that we're working on things. So she doesn't know how to use the mic. I don't know how to do crowd control. So we're working on that. But we'll have a new auditorium. It's going to be a non-issue, right? Yes. Okay. Have a great night. Okay, so that's what we call a three-part scale. Now, we're going to do the same exact thing, but we're going to ask each musician in the band to pick one single note to play wrong, which would give them a 14 out of 15 on a test, which is the equivalent to 93.3. I told Sparing it was like equivalent to 97 last Wednesday, and the kids were like, where did you get your math from? I'm like, no. So I think it's at 93 point something, okay? So, any teacher in the universe who says their class average is a 93 point something would probably be in heaven. This is what a 93 sounds like in band. The man said, someone like the clarinets. I like the whole thing. You guys sound great. That was fun. All right, guys. Real quick, we'd like to recognize a few people here. If you, I know last year, well, I'm not sure if I should say it that way. So, Solo and Small Ensemble Festival happens in second semester. Yes, we talked about it in December. So you know that that's a festival where they go play for judges and get rated on their solo or duet or quintet, quartet, trio, whatever it might be. We had students in this band that participated, and I can tell you something, signing up for this when you don't have to and you just do it because is a super brave thing to go say, hey, I'm going to play for a stranger and let them evaluate me, give me written comments, and then overall assess me with a number is pretty impressive just to do that process alone. So would you all please stand up, percussion, raise your hand if you participated in solo and small ensemble this year. Okay, so we got a couple. Raise your hand or stay standing if you got a 180. So, not an easy thing, and you can see in the great program that we have here at Lindbergh that it's not something that is easy for kids to sound to do. So we're super proud of both of you guys for doing that, okay? The other thing we do in 8th grade is we present a director's award. And we have a plaque on the wall that is there since I've gotten here, and their names all the way down the wall since whenever the first director that started this began. So for the Director's Award, we're looking at students that just kind of encompass our band program, like when it comes to personality, leadership, going above and beyond, and doing all the extra stuff that takes place in band to be that great leader. And it's really cool this year to give it to this individual, because living in the world of this individual in middle school band, when you feel like you are a lost soul in sound, because it's so hard to hear yourself, and you're such a special instrument, but it takes like just, you got to get to a certain level of musicality with the rest of the band before you start to show what you're doing. It's really cool to present this award to this person. So I would like to ask Cordith Drago to come up here. Outstanding job. I don't get to work with the woodwinds very often, but when I've been with the full band rehearsals and coming in here and doing, and just starting to get to know people, like there have been so many times where I've been conducting and all of a sudden my head's been like, looking right at just amazing player. And here's the deal. We do have an actual award for you. Okay? However, for some reason something got messed up and they did not get your name printed on it. So we are going, and I say that, we'll get you that before school's out, I promise, okay? It's just something happened, and we will get it to you. So congratulations on such a great job. All right, the next piece we'll play is Covington Square. Okay, in an effort to make up for 2 mistakes. Number 1 is there was a mistake with the engraving, which was not my fault. Number 2 is there was a mistake with where this award was at. We found that, so we also added some fake roses to it, okay? So just to prove that you actually have a real award, hold this real quick. There it is. All right, so we just got back from Silver Dollar City. What a trip. I hope they talked about it to you and told you things, but I have an eighth grade son, which I'm sure the answer was all right. So I totally get that, but it was better than all right. These kids were awesome. And I tell you what, you know, your reputation off stage is far more important than anything you achieve on stage. And it's something we put on our itineraries. And we fully believe that. The way these kids carry themselves in the hall, through our band rooms, while they're getting ready for anything, we keep an eye on all of that. And we want to make sure that we're not helping these kids become great musicians, but helping them be responsible, growing members of society. And I'm telling you right now, if you had seen these kids on the bus and in the park and at the hotel and all the stuff, people say, why in the world would you ever do that? And I'll tell you why. It's because these kids are consistently awesome. And we've got 3 years to prove it. So when they say, why in the world or how in the world could you ever take 158th graders or whatever it is to on an overnight trip, it's not even a worry for me. Not at all. Because these kids here are what you see right now, every day. They are incredible human beings, so respectful, and they're just locked in on everything we're doing. So it's just awesome. So the trip was incredible. These folks received a 1 rating, which is the highest rating you can receive at Silver Dollar City. So congratulations on your 1 rating. They also, out of 13 bands, placed number 2, which is incredible. And there were bands from 4 different states. They come from all over for this thing, and these are nationally renowned people that adjudicate them. So 1 rating, 2nd place out of 13 bands from all over. That sounds like a pretty darn good thing. So congratulations, guys. So next year, all I can say is I wish you guys the best. For those of you that are moving on past your band years, thank you for being with us for 3 years. You guys have been awesome. And you know, whether band's your thing or not, high school is a whole other adventure. For those of you that are going on band with us, whether you're doing the marching band track or you're doing the concert band track, you're still one of these people in this group of incredible musicians and just awesome people. So I'm so proud of you, and thank you for an incredible 3 years. I get a little bit weird thinking about this right now. It's just, I just can't quit thinking like that. It's almost like a thought goes through, and then there's this line that says COVID, and then a thought goes through, and this line that says COVID. And I just sit here and count my blessings every day that I have this incredible group of students that are still coming to class, working their tails off, and sounding as good as any band I've ever had with all the adversity they've gone through. And I beam with pride, and I just really love you guys, okay? Awesome students. Best of luck in high school. Last concert, great job, and now we're gonna have a lot of fun with the train song. Okay, our last piece will be the Great Locomotive Chase.
graduation and everything else that takes place at the event. So we really appreciate you. We hope you enjoyed the concert. And best luck and best wishes to all of y'all as you go into high school and all the different endeavors you guys have. We'll see you tomorrow in class, though. All right. All right. Thank you, parents.